ado, I'm going to bring up my good friend, a very good friend. He's like a brother, family. And this is unbelievable. What he's allowed me to do is to go into his not quite personal life, but I did some research on him and I found a few things on this gentleman. And I'd like to bring him up on the screen right now with me. Folks, my very good friend, Mr. Wallis ToaTaua Farraday. And he is coming up. There he is. My friend.
Kia ora.
Kia ora, bro.
Tēnā koe. Tēnā koe.
Oh, kei tā pai, bro. Kei tā pai.
Oh,
Look at that, bro.
No?
Churr, bro.
Maori Churr TV, eh?
Maori Churr TV. And you know what? I just want to say thank you for letting me dig into your personal life a little bit. And, you know, because we've known each other for a long time. And a lot of people know you, Wallis. No, lots of people know you, but they know you because of the entertainment, because the type of guy you are, the fun guy you are. Wherever you are, you always got your ukulele around. And
Yes.
especially a lot of people from New Zealand, and we've all touched you, and you have really touched everybody. But they don't know the other side to you, the side that is serious for you, that you take serious, which is your work. And a lot of people out there. I just had a friend this morning, I was talking to him about it, and he said, oh, that guy that plays the ukulele, the guy that, the musician guy that sings. I said, yeah. I said, you got to watch the interview. He said, really? I said, yeah, you've got to watch it. So I'm telling you, man, this is amazing. And I'd like you to maybe say a couple of things while I got you on the screen right now. Over to you, my friend.
Well, kia ora, Dino. I think you're being too kind, my friend. Listen,
I ain't finished.
I'm no different to anybody else. I just have tried to live my life with purpose. And I did give you some of my history. I think my overall focus in life has been to help people. So the profession I chose was one that I followed on from my dad. And my dad was a veteran of the Second World War, the first Maori to be decorated with the DCM. Actually, he did a number of firsts, so keeping up with him was pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Anyway, he went on to become a orthotist, more an orthotist, working with surgical footwear and bracing, etc. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think I would end up in the same profession. But my goodness, I'm so fortunate to have been able to I guess, really pursue this opportunity. And so here we are today.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, first, I'd like to start out with something like this, my friend. I'd love to show you something that I kind of, dug into a little bit, Maybe you can take a look at this.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yes.
Now, I'm not going to say that you wouldn't remember anything at that age,
Not particularly, no.
Now, you wouldn't remember anything at that age, but that's you, my friend. We did some digging. We did some digging.
I can see.
Well, I ain't finish it because this is you growing up, and you were born and raised in Rotorua.
I was. Rotorua,
and
I was actually born Wallis ToaTaua Farraday for a few hours, I believe, or maybe more than a few hours.
Yep.
So Maori have been known to change their names quite often, especially back in those days. And my dad came from a long line of warriors, and that was really reinforced at me for many years. And so the name Friday came along when my grandfather recognized back in the day, I'm not sure what year it was, that having a Pākehā name was a lot easier to get integrate into the world with, especially in New Zealand during those times. So
Yeah.
he adopted the name Friday, and I came along, and my dad's uncle said, you know what, we need to change that. And so Dad says, oh, I like the name Farraday. So I became Wallis ToaTaua Farraday, but
Farraday.
a real name was ToaTaua, and I recently, when I got married 3 years ago, changed my name back to ToaTaua
Right.
Farraday, because Faraday's got me through this world. People know me by it.
Yeah.
But I'm proud of our name. I'm proud of our heritage, and it has been a major factor in really in my development, and psychologically knowing where we came from, who we are, our people. It's really helped me. So
Yeah.
ToaTaua means brave warrior. So I've tried to be as brave as I possibly can in this world,
Oh
and
man.
try to lead.
Yeah. I tell you, and you are that brave warrior, right? Because there's a lot more things. We're going to dig into something else as we go along this trail here. So
Oh, I'm
here's
sure
another
you are, Dino.
reminder. See?
Oh,
Are you sitting on a
yes.
potty, bro? Is
Actually,
it a
no.
potty? Eh?
No, actually, it's not a potty. I remember this back in Rotorua,
Oh my
in
God.
Flash.
Okay.
But to have a shower, Dad would stick a garden hose up, and I thought it was kind of. I remember this picture, and it was just a chopping block, because we used to have to chop the wood.
Yeah.
So I had to put the chopping block there, put the hose up, and I think it was one of those things you watered the plants with, and I'd have my
Right.
shower every week.
Oh my God, man. Look at that, eh?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
did
yeah.
you notice the last, this picture and the one before, you were smiling as a baby. So you've been smiling on your life there, bro.
Yeah, when you're smiling, the whole
I
world
tell you,
smiles.
man. Yeah. But
Yeah.
again, like I said, Wallace, I said, knowing you, man, it's been unbelievable. And there's a lot of people out there that really don't know the other side to you. Like I said earlier, they know you as really you're the guy that go into Costco with the ukulele, or remember you and I were on the subway and we were playing in with
Yes.
Tata Papa, and that was an amazing night. But that's what you are about, bro. You're about going out there, and just doing your thing, and having fun and enjoying yourself. So, you know, um, I think, it's very hard. It's very hard to sort of find somebody like you that's very happy-go-lucky and always caring about people, always looking out for people. You really are, bro. You know.
Yes. Well, Dino, I owe a lot of that to my mum and dad.
Yeah.
They reinforced uh, in me when I was a young fella, as an only child, that again, be a leader, not a follower.
Mm,
My dad constantly talked about ToaTaua, brave warrior, and that's who I was, and I was expected
yeah.
to lead. And always have a smile on my face. So whether I liked it or not, I had to put a smile on my face. So everything I did, there was a smile on my face. Sometimes it was inappropriate, but I had a smile on my face. So
Well,
that's
well.
just who we are. And I continue to try to look at everything from a positive perspective, and look for opportunities to help people, whether I'm in my professional life. And you said, this is the first interview I've had relative to my professional life, and it is. I've always
Yeah.
tried to keep my professional and personal life personal, because there's I think certain things you want to make sure that you're seen respectfully
Yeah.
for what you do, and not that anything I do is not respectful, but there's two sides to my life. There's that fun side, and then there's that serious side of taking care of people. But whether or not I'm on a stage or I'm in front of patients and referrals, etc., I'm always looking to try to help better their lives, and that's just been my
Yeah,
my.
that's you, bro. You got a huge heart. You're always smiling. I've never seen you unhappy, bro. Never. And I've known you for a long time. You and I always pulling off jokes and having fun and stuff like that. But bro,
Yes,
here,
it's my mum and
here,
dad.
here.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna disappear off the screen while you can maybe talk about them.
Okay, thank you, Dino. So, yep, this is my mum and dad, and they were my heroes when I grew up. My mum is of a Scottish descent, and so I've got that mixture of Maori and Scottish. I got to know a number of her family members, her brothers and sisters, But really, overall, I think I really got to know my dad's side. There's so many of them, and I continue to get to meet many of them today through social media. Cousins that I've never met before. But at the end of the day, my mum and dad were just so, I think, important in my life, and they gave me hope for success simply by staying focused. And I think coming back to the message they gave to me, always try to be a leader and not a follower. So I owe a lot to them, and I wish they were alive today
Yeah, kia
to
ora,
share
bro.
some of
Kia
the
ora.
things that I've been able to achieve.
Yeah, well, you've done them proud, brother. I'm sure they're looking after you, bro, because
Oh yeah, they're looking
the
down.
type of person you are, man. It's very hard to come by people like you, and I want to keep you as
Oh
my
yeah, too
brother.
kind,
I want
Dan.
to keep you as my friend, and yeah, right. But we've got a lot to talk about. So here's another one. I'm going to let you talk about that for a bit, bro. Go ahead.
Yes, so that's my dad there and his colleague Ross Glenn. As I mentioned earlier, my dad was in the profession. He came back from World War II, and he was severely injured. And there was a physician by the name of Dr. Wilfred Stanley Wallis. And my dad was convalescing at the QE hospital in Rotorua. And he happened to like my dad and said, look, we need somebody in prosthetics and orthotics here in Rotorua. And so he sent him away for training in Auckland, and came back and started with Mr. Glenn there, the first clinic in Rotorua. And again, I sort of grew up with these two gentlemen as a young whippersnapper in their clinic, and got to see what they did. And they changed people's lives. And I saw it. Now, in my wildest dreams, as I
Yeah.
mentioned, I never thought I wanted to get into this, but I did. So that's my dad there, Mr. Glenn, and
Yeah.
that's outside their department. But again, I wish he was alive today to see what we've been able to do with technology for
Yeah. Yeah.
patients, continue
Absolutely.
to change lives. But
Yeah.
very much these two individuals were big influences in my life
Wow.
professionally.
Yeah, bro. There you go, bro. Now, before before we go ahead, and I want to get you to say something. I just want to show something else here. There you go. See at the bottom here, bro.
Yes.
The bottom here. So I'm just going to read. I'm going to read something, and let me see here. This is something that I found. So I thought I'm gonna talk about this. Wallis ToaTaua Farraday, Vice President of Strategic Initiative for Hanger Clinic, has over 40 years of experience and expertise in providing prosthetic care for challenging cases around the world. Originally from New Zealand and a second generation practitioner, Wallis has lived and worked in over 5 countries and is certified to practice prosthetics in both Canada and United States. And that's where you live right now in Daytona, Florida. Wallis has made numerous and extensive contributions to the prosthetic industry and has been a leader in research and development for advancement technology, including computer, digital design, post-operative prosthetic care, hip disarticulation, I think I got that word right, socket design,
Yes.
and upper extremities uh, specialty designed. Wallis has recently received or has been recognized for his contribution to the prosthetic industry, where he was awarded the prestigious J.E. Hanger Excellent Award for pioneering innovation. My brother, congratulations for all that. And
Thank you.
like I said, a lot of people don't know what you've done. And this is why we're here today. And they're going to hear what you have done. So if you want to say a few words.
Well, thank you again, being too kind. Listen, I have lived and worked in, I think, these countries. Well, I've lived and worked in New Zealand, the United States and Canada. And I had the opportunity to work both in England and in France while I was working for the Ontario Skills Development Group and representing Canada and bringing new technologies in. So I was, maybe you could say I was living there. I was in and out of England and out of France, working with technologies. But it's just been an honor and privilege to be really involved in this field, and again, changing lives. That picture in the middle there, I'm not a physician, and yet I had the opportunity to sit in on amputations, etc., because we were involved at Sunnybrook Health Science Centre, University of Toronto, in immediate post-operative fittings, meaning after an amputation, we would apply what we call rigid dressings to the residual limb, and then often we would apply a prosthetic foot, and patients would get up the next day with light weight bearing. My good friend, Dr. Gordon Hunter, who took a shine to me, would always have me in the operating room and having me just assist in different amputations and get me involved. And it was just a great sense of really getting close to what was going on, and then being able to take those individuals and provide them with an opportunity to walk again. There's no feeling like it, Dino. It's a little like, when you and I get off the stage and we've had a great night, we're high-fiving, people have enjoyed it. Well, in my profession, it's no different. To see somebody come in that has no limbs or has diabetes and for some reason they're unable to walk due to amputation, and to actually see them stand up and walk for the first time, it just does so much to you, and it's emotional. And so you get a lot from helping people and seeing them get back and give them back their lives. So that's the picture there. I worked in the operating room with Dr. Hunter many times.
And I can see you do have some blood on your hands there, brother. So,
yes.
But here we go. Here's another picture, and I think what you were just talking about, and we're going to talk about a couple of things, when it comes to amputation and diabetic and all that. So, but this young kid is from Guyana, right?
Yes.
And I was reading a little bit about that, and he has this arm, what they call an elephant man disease on his arm.
Yes, it's called arthrogryposis multiplexa congenita. And unfortunately, this little boy had such a disease that his right arm, and again, we're seeing him after amputation, was actually weighed more than his whole body. Now, I'm looking pretty young in that picture. In fact, it was in 1985, and I just arrived in Canada to work at the University of Toronto at Sunnybrook Health Science Centre, and the orthopedic physician at the time called me into the clinic and said, "Right, we've got a case for you. This young boy has just come in from Guyana." Well, that was one thing. The next thing he said, the national media are coming. The whole world's going to be watching this, and you. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, no problem. And I had really very little experience. I just come from New Zealand. And fortunately, there was a clinic next door at the Hugh McMillan Medical Centre that had a vast amount of experience with what we call myoelectrics and electric arms. And so I quickly studied, and we had the little boy had his arm amputated. He came in, we did some post-surgical work and prepared him for a prosthetic device. And in this particular shot here, it's a Getty image, so it's out there on the internet. This was a interview with the media, and I was explaining how the myoelectric device would work. And it has electrodes that picks up signals from the muscle to open and close the hand. And I think he had a conventional elbow, but it was pretty unique. And little Gary went on to go back to Guyana, and it was, from what I understand, was very successful with his prosthetic arm. But it was a big thrill for me to be involved right out of the box, or right off the boat with this technology. And so there you have it.
Well, bro, you have definitely come a long way. And I think what we were just talking about earlier, you were saying amputation.
Yes.
And that's what I want to touch on, the amputation and diabetic. As you know, like I'm diabetic, so.
Right. So, there's around 2 million, I think, amputees in the United States. And, the cause of amputation, 54% of the folks that receive amputations, it's due to vascular disease, of which a large percentage is diabetic. And diabetes is a disease where there's basically hyperglycemic, meaning you have a lot of glucose or sugar in the blood, and that can affect the vessels that travel to vital organs in the body. The kidneys, the eyes, the heart disease, and nerves. So for the folks that we deal with, and we see a lot of them, unfortunately, diabetes, and again, the glucose over a long period of time, sugar in the blood, can break down nerves. And so therefore, the nervous system is unable to advise you, if you like, that you've got maybe a pebble in your shoe, or you've got a blister. And when these things break down, they become very difficult to heal because, again, there's too much glucose in the blood. And so that creates what we call neuropathy, and patients don't feel it. And then gangrene can set in, and then unless you amputate pretty early on, folks can lose their lives. So we see a lot of amputees with diabetes, and one of the areas that I'm involved in is education and finding strategic ways to help folks in terms of avoiding further amputation down the road. Patients that have amputation due to diabetes and vascular disease generally will have another amputation in 5 years, or they will pass. So it's critical that we're constantly monitoring what's going on, and we've got a lot of follow-up going in our clinics. And again, I've done this my whole life. And this particular picture that you see here, again, I was involved in surgeries and putting on what we call immediate post-operative devices, post-surgically, so that we could control the edema of the residual limb. Because after amputation, obviously, all the fluid wants to continue to go down there. The body has been through trauma. Everything is sutured up. And so we want to control that edema, as also keep the limb extended so that the limb or the knee doesn't flex, causing a problem with prosthetic treatment down the road. So I'm getting a little deep, but this particular case here was a patient that we were putting an immediate post-operative device on, and the next day we got them up in the gate room just for very light weight bearing, so that we could get what we call hydrostatic pressure, have them start just taking a little bit of pressure on that limb and reducing the fluids, as well as protecting them from any fall, because the nerves are still there, and a lot of patients sometimes feel that their limb is still there, and they get out of bed and they fall down. So back in those days, we were prying these devices. And in fact, it's worthy to know that these devices, I didn't invent them or anything like this, or this technique was created in the First World War, where they actually applied hot tar to the limb after the limb had been maybe taken off due to trauma or gunshots in the Second World War, and they put them in these encasements, and they found that it really controlled the swelling and kept the limb clean from infection and things like this. Sorry, going a little too deep, but once I get on a roll like that and stuff.
No, that's good, because you talked about education, and this is what it's all about, educating. And I can remember I got educated a few months back when I called you. Remember, I called you and I said, "Hey, bro, we're talking about the leg here, because, like I said, I'm diabetic, so and I had this little problem with my leg, and then I showed you, I took a picture and showed you, and then you talked to me and you said, do this and do that, and now my leg is a lot better than it was before.
Wonderful.
If I just let it go, it wouldn't be the way it is today. But it's because you educated me and I listened to you, and now it's like my leg is very, very good now. So I'm pretty happy about that, because it doesn't look good, some of that stuff. And you have you have seen the worst of the worst. Some people that come in and they just they have to get their arms, their legs, their ears, their eyes, their nose all amputated, and you have to go in there and help them and save their lives, my brother. You save people lives.
Yes, I like to think of it as we give them hope for tomorrow. And, the key, I think, to what we do in healthcare, and I would say just about every healthcare practitioner out there
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
to have a sense of empathy in listening to patients. And so that's, I think, a key factor in being successful in what you do is having that empathy, listening to them, and understanding what their needs are, identifying what those needs are,
Right.
acknowledging what they're going through, and just helping them transition through that challenge in their lives. But I would say that the majority of folks that we see, again, the vascular diabetic patients that we see, that I've seen my whole career, from the time I was a young fella with my dad doing very similar things through to my career today, is that people overcome adversity with good education and a support mechanism. It's nice to know that we're able to help people and transition them, get them back into life. And quite often, Dino, some folks going through amputation is traumatic. It's like it's a
Yes.
loss.
Yeah.
It's like losing somebody. I mean,
Yeah.
you go through all these different phases of grief, and quite often folks are, presented with, we may need to amputate your limb, and they'll continue to try to save that limb. But thinking about what I just said, once you're into that area, that gray area of having
Yeah.
diabetes, life expectancy, et cetera, and quality of life, they're really important. So I think getting good advice, counseling, and speaking to, getting one or two opinions about amputation surgery. I'm not saying you should, get an amputation every time, but
Mm.
quite often many patients come in and say, I should have done this 5 years ago because you
Yes.
gave me my life back.
Yeah.
So again, just being educated and being able to make informed decisions, because everybody's different,
Yeah.
it is really key. And that's what we're able to do today as healthcare
Yeah.
practitioners, provide
And
people with good education.
and I think don't be afraid to ask questions. Like I wasn't afraid
Yes,
to call you.
correct.
I called you because I was a little bit worried. So yeah, don't be afraid. When you go into your doctor and all that and whatever, you can ask questions, but don't be
And
afraid.
And Dino, I'm so glad you did. I mean, you mean a lot to me.
Yeah.
Not that the other patients don't, but
Yeah.
I'm so glad that we had that opportunity
Yeah.
to korero and discuss, the pros and cons, and also proud of you for taking action.
Yes.
So good for you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Now I've got a picture here. I found this one, and I
Another
think you can. And I think you can. I think you can maybe talk to us about this. This one is a special one for you. Yeah. What about that one?
Oh, yes,
I'm going to disappear off the
yes.
screen while you explain that.
So in my career, there have been so many like highlights, and this certainly was one. Now, this is in Toronto, Canada, at Sunnybrook Health Science Centre, University of Toronto, and I was at that time I was in a role as the managing director of what they called Skill, and it was a division that provided outpatient rehab and a number of different programs. And at the time, Fergie, the Duchess of York, was scheduled to visit Toronto, and she was involved with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. And we actually had a clinic that ran under me in Toronto. And so, therefore, it was arranged that I would tour her around our facility. And it was just such a highlight. And so you can see us there. I was introducing her to different physicians.
Yeah.
And it was just delightful to show her around the clinic and be able to add to her education on what we were doing in
Mm.
Canada at the time with Lou Gehrig's disease.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
awesome
yeah.
time.
So when you came over to Toronto, that was the first time being in Toronto. That's when I first met you, I believe, right? Because you've been
Yes,
in Toronto for 9 years, roughly around nine
yes, I
years,
was in Toronto 9 years
and you were
before.
running the Sunnybrook Hospital here from the prosthetic
Well, I
department,
wasn't
correct?
running the hospital, but I was running a division
Oh,
that
division.
had
Okay.
a number of different programs
Mm-hmm.
inside that division. I
Mm.
honestly, it was so long ago now, I can't recall the different
Yeah, I
divisions,
know.
but it was all part of really helping patients, provide them with hope and devices and services and specific programs all under the university or
Wow.
Sunnybrook Health Science
Yeah.
Centre.
And we lost you to San Francisco. That's where your next.
I live my
When you
heart.
left, when you left it, oh, bro, man, he's leaving us. He's going down to the States, to San Francisco. Oh my God. So let me tell us about this one here. I want about that.
Okay, so I was given an
I'll go off the
opportunity.
screen a bit.
Yeah, I was given an opportunity to work in San Francisco for a company by the name of NovaCare. Orthotics and prosthetics was just starting to really, I think, get traction, specifically with publicly traded companies, etc. So I was given this opportunity, and so moved down to the States. We later became acquired by a company, an awesome company called Hanger Clinic, of whom I work for today. And this particular article here was written. I was asked I was interviewed actually about a device I'd created, and it was really just a continuation of what I've done in Toronto on immediate post-operative procedures. And so I looked at creating something a little more sophisticated, because the device that we were using, and it was traditional, was a plaster cast. And this particular one, we looked at creating something that was custom made, and we could inspect the wound. And so I called it the Kiwi, because it really was, I think, well, first of all, I was thinking about my homeland. The Kiwi is a flightless bird. He just walks around. So I thought, you know what? I want to get people walking around as well. We'll get them flying in a different way, but they're going to be walking. And so this particular device, it became patent pending, and today it's taken on a whole new life within our organization called AmpuShield. But I was very proud to be a part of this, and this was probably good 15, maybe 20 years ago. I can't remember now.
Wow. And there's something else that a lot of people don't know that you were involved in, and that's to do with a dolphin.
Yes.
Yeah. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I wasn't involved in the design of it, although at the time I was overseeing the Florida and clinical programs in Florida, and my colleagues, one of them, who's world-renowned practitioner who I work with today, Kevin Carroll, was listening to the radio. I understand this is what happened. He was listening to the radio, and he had a call out for somebody looking for a company or an individual to make a tail for a dolphin. And so Kevin replied to that call, and again, long story short, he went on to create this dolphin tail along with another good colleague of mine, Dan Strimka, in Sarasota. And this particular dolphin, I think it's almost 14 years ago now, it was found in Mosquito Bay, which is just south of where we live here in Daytona Shores, and got caught in a crab trap. And his tail got caught in a crab trap. He saved it. And they took the dolphin over to Clearwater Marine Aquarium, which was just an old broken down aquarium where they had marine life. Long story short, we were our company was involved in supporting both Kevin and Dan in creating this tail. And I'll tell you what, they worked on the tail, I mean, endlessly, and we still work on it today. At least I know Dan does. Long story short is that the material they used, one of the materials was a liner that went over the tail that was left of the amputation. And today we call that winter's gel, and we saw such great benefits from the dolphin that we've actually, the company we work with, Alps, who are another great strategic partner of ours in Florida, created this gel, and now we use it today on many of our patients that require this specific gel on their limbs. And so it went far beyond just the tail. And then we also recognized later on that the aquarium started bringing in children that were having difficulty, with disabilities. Yes. And they saw this dolphin with its tail. And all of a sudden, there was this response from the children to put their prosthetic devices on. Mm-hmm. Went one step further, and then the veterans became involved, and veterans that were coming down with post-traumatic syndrome, etc. Same thing. And so one thing led to another, and then Hollywood got involved, and they created a script, and Morgan Freeman was involved, and they made Dolphin.
I saw that.
And Dolphin 2. And a funny story for you. So I was invited to the red carpet opening of this movie, which was in Sarasota, Florida. And I was all excited. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be on this movie. I'm not going to be in it, but I'm going to be part of the opening. And I was in New Zealand at the time. And my good friend Robin Kirk, who we call Tons of Fun, and for those of you in the audience that know him, he's blind, he was calling me up saying, "Pal, you're going to miss the red carpet opening." And I went, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." "Yeah, you are, pal." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because you're a day out." "Yeah, a day out. I'll be there. And sure enough, I landed in LA. I was so tired from my trip. And I looked down and I suddenly recognized that I was on the wrong day. The actual event was happening while I was in LA, so I never made it, but I got to see it. So just a wonderful time in our history, and Hangar Clinic again supported all of this. And as I said, we continue Dan continues to work with the Dolphin now in Sarasota. In fact, when he pulls up in his vehicle to the aquarium, the Dolphin knows he's there. That's how sensitive they are.
Wow.
I just have to have the Dolphin's tail with me, Dino. So this is the tail, and this was carved by Stremka. And he's just a wonderful man. And this is the area, the section here,
right,
that would go over
the
residual limb,
yeah,
and then it would turn over. And so he just used it. And part of the challenge with the Dolphin was it has scoliosis. So this would just help keep his back straight. So this is actually a replica that was carved by Dan Stremka, one of the creators of the tail. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that's really, really awesome, bro.
Yes.
So I just got to say one thing. You know, we, like me, and people are watching us today. And by the way, people are watching us today from all over. I've seen people coming from Australia, New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, South Africa. Geez, man, it's people have been watching us from all over. So I just want to say thank you for what you have done. You know, like in your job is, man, you've worked hard at that, and you've kept. You know what you have done, Wallace, is that you've enjoyed yourself on the side, having fun, the music, and all that kind of stuff. But you've gone back to your work, and you take your work so seriously, and you've worked hard at it. And you said that being a leader, not a follower, and that's what you are, bro. You are a leader. You're definitely our leader, and from us, everybody that know you, we are all proud of you. We just want to thank you. We just want to give you the best and support you, whatever you're doing, bro, because, the young Maori boy from Rotorua in New Zealand, there's not many people, I would say, even some of the Maoris from back home, there's Maoris now in Australia and New Zealand that maybe don't know your background. They know you as Willie, the entertainer and all that. But what you're doing today is unbelievable. Like I said earlier, you're saving lives, bro. You're definitely helping out a lot of people. And it's because of things like this. Here's my next picture, jamming, brother, jamming.
We're jamming.
Yeah, you're jamming. So who's this? Who are these?
So,
I'll go off the screen again.
Yeah, so the gentleman in the middle is my dad. And the one to his right is Dave Paikia. And I think the other one is a Kiriopa. I can't remember his name. But so my dad was in the profession, as I've explained to the audience, but he's also a fierce musician, entertainer, and a bit of a character. So he used to play often.
Like you, bro. Like you.
No, I'm well behaved. But he played all over Rotorua. One of the areas that we were always at was Brent's Hotel in Rotorua. And I got my first job at, I think, 11 years old, playing guitar in the back of the band. But oh my goodness, when you hear those saxophones going off, and then there was a vocalist. I mean, it was truly music to the ears. And my mum played in the band. She played ukulele and sang. So yeah, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So
yeah, that's where it all comes from, bro. So look, again, I just want to say hi to some of the people that are tuning in. You got Martin and Lizanne from Queenstown.
Marty, Lizanne.
Yeah, they're on. Who else we got here? We got Wayne Dixon from New Zealand. John and Mike Evelyn here from Ontario. There's quite a few people. I've already missed them because it's been scrolling up, and I've been missing.
Oh, I can see them there. I can actually see them. Isaac's out there.
Yeah.
Kia ora, Isaac.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well, listen, Dino, what I would like to say is that as you progress through life, I always look back at all those key mentors and people that I've met through my life. I haven't done this on my own. This has been really an effort of meeting people and
yeah,
learning from them, and I'm continuing to learn. I know that it appears that I've worked hard, but I look at it as if I've never worked a day in my life because I enjoy what I'm doing.
yes,
I go back to really my passion. It's always been to help people and keep a smile on my face.
mhm.
People like yourself, Dino. I mean, you inspire me just with what you've done with this Maori Churr TV of bringing this channel together,
Thank you, bro.
bringing it alive, and you're going to share many other stories that
Oh yeah,
will make mine look like this because there's so
spreading
many people
we're
that have
spreading the love.
contributed. Yes, yes. So I just like to thank anyone out there that's listening that
Yes,
I've come in contact with. Thank you for showing me life. Thank you for showing me things that I didn't know. And thank you for being good friends. Appreciate
oh
it.
man, I tell you what, and it's hard to keep up with you, bro, because you're full of energy, bro. Look, I tell you, like a guy like you that's full of energy. Oh man, it's very hard to keep up with you. But here, look at this. Eh?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. So my multiculture has been very close to my heart. And this was a performance in San Francisco. So when I left San Francisco, I started a couple of hapa group. And again, just the connection through the Maori world was huge. And I met a lot of folks from PPC,
Mm,
Polynesian Cultural Center, in Hawaii, and we started this group. So I used to do a lot of openings and the wero, and those were the days when I was fit.
yeah.
But yeah, just a terrific way to showcase New Zealand, who we are and what we are. And so this was, I think, one of the openings for something at a school. I can't remember what it was,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, these pictures out there.
Well, look at this one.
Oh, my
Oh,
life. This
bro.
is our son Lucas, and
That's your
Lucas
son.
Maori ToaTaua Farraday. The highlight of my life having Luke,
Yeah,
and
bro.
he's now in New York City. He's hunkering down right now until the COVID
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
is covered. But I'm so proud of him, and so proud to call him my son. And
Yes.
that was the I think that was probably that was probably when he was born. Look at those big brown eyes here.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, bro,
Luke,
can I just say one thing? Can I say one
yes,
thing? He
yes,
sings better than you.
I know.
Oh, yeah, he sings
Most
really
people
good.
do.
He sings really good, bro. He does.
Yeah,
Look,
he
and
does. There he
he's
is.
a big boy now.
He is. He was my best man,
He's
our
older
best
than you,
man,
bro. Yeah.
at my wedding in or 3 years ago, and
Mhm.
yeah, just so proud to have him when he was born, and proud of what he's doing today. And he is. He loves music. He's professionally trained, both
Yes,
in opera,
I've seen
uh,
some stuff. Yeah,
sings. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
very
again,
good,
apple
very
doesn't
good.
fall far from the tree, and I had no idea that he
Mm.
could sing. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's got
to
a.
be truthful, my
He's,
parents thought I had no musical ability either when I was younger. I mean, I think they expected me to jump up and start rocking on the guitar, and I probably expected the same of Luke, but he's blown me away, and he's taught me a lot about voice and training and how to warm my voice up because us
yeah,
Maori just ran straight into it. But yeah, he's awesome.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you something, Wallace. We can go on for hours, man. I
Yeah,
got so
yeah,
much stuff on you, but we can go on for hours. But here, you and your lovely wife, this is when you got married,
it is. It
right?
is. This was
Stacy.
3 years ago. My lovely wife, Stacey, she has made such a difference to our family, Luke and I.
Nice.
She has she's her cousin, but it's like her niece, and Shalia and Victoria are very close to her, and so they're part of our family, their extended family.
Yeah.
Tori's got married now to Danny, so we've got this lovely family unit, and Stacey is responsible for really bringing us all together. She's taught me a lot, and all I want to be is a good husband and a good father to Luke and to our extended whānau out there. And it's Stacey, is it? She's the bee's knees. So I love her to death,
Yeah,
and
look
we
at
just
this. Look
celebrated
at that.
last night her birthday. Yeah,
Look at
that's
that one,
us.
bro.
Yep, that was Stacey, Luke, and I. When
Yeah,
Luke the World Championships in Hollywood, California. I keep saying Hollywood,
Hollywood,
Florida.
California. Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, we went out there and supported him. And we got a lot of family pics, the three of us. But
Yeah.
yeah, there he
Well,
is. He's a tall fella.
yeah. Well, we've talked about your work, and like when you grow up, and then we talked about your work and how serious you are. And now we talk about your family now. So,
Yes. So that's Luke.
it's you and Luke. I don't know where you guys were with that one there, but
We
it
were
looks
in
like
New
you
York.
guys are
So
ready to sing.
Luke lives in Brooklyn, and I don't know if any of you have been to
Oh,
Brooklyn, but it's really a community that is. It reminds me of Sesame Street. Garbage bins everywhere, buildings, and cop cars, tin cans banging. And so Luke says, "Dad, come over and we'll go for a drink."
yeah.
Okay, so I went over and we met up, and he took me to his local, and there we are, just having a beer, and then we walked around the streets. But yeah, I think that's a good way to describe it. It
Yeah,
reminded me
look
of
what I just
Sesame
put up
Street.
there. I'll take myself off, and then you can read.
Yeah. So there you can see it. Actually, that might not have been his local. I think we walked into one of his convenience stores, and Luke is quite the character. He knows everybody
Yeah, cool.
in Brooklyn, so we got to meet all his mates, and
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
Every time I
nice.
go to New York, we try to connect. Haven't
Yeah.
been there for a while simply because it's basically closed down on lockdown, but it'll be open up soon.
Well, bro, here's your family, your U.S. family.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is a great picture. This is my whānau in Missouri, and what they did for me was just unbelievable. When I changed my name back to ToaTaua, they had this party for me, and unfortunately, it doesn't show the size of this, but that big man to the left there, Uncle Jerry, he's a big man. It's his garage, and it's huge. They have these big combines. They're all farmers, and they had this huge combines. They put in the garage, and they set this big party up for me with a big cake, and they had a big banner. And I mean, I was quite taken that they did this, and it was welcoming me into their family. And I know they'd love to meet you all, so maybe we'll have a big party up there when we get over the COVID. But just a great family. I just love them to death.
Nice. Yeah. What about this one?
Oh, all right. So that's the family that are here in. Well, actually, to the right of Stacey there is Shalia. She is like Stacey's daughter, and then down in front of Shalia is Danny, Danny Worsnop, and his lovely wife, Stacey's cousin, but really like her daughter as well, Victoria. And her husband there is, I don't know if you wanted me to say it, but he's a big rock star with a band called Asking Alexandria. He plays all over the world. Right now, they're on hold, obviously, with COVID, but just a great guy. Danny's just such an interesting guy, successful guy.
Nice.
And we got Colton and Chloe on the other side there. So they come and visit us all the time.
Right on. So what about hang on, if I show you this one here, I think this is your family, isn't it? Your extent?
Yes,
Is
it's
that
my
your
nieces.
yeah.
Yep,
Is
in
that
New
back home
Zealand.
in
So
Rotorua? Is that in New Zealand? In
that
Rotorua?
was in Hamilton actually.
Oh, Hamilton.
We met up with them. Yeah, that's my whānau and all the babies that we miss. So again, they have welcomed Stacey into our family, and it's just, I mean, it's wonderful to have family, and
Yeah, bro.
we don't get to see them enough.
True. There we go.
Yeah, and there's more of them. So when we went back last time, they had this big hui for us, and so they all gathered. They came from miles. I mean, there's just a few of them there, but that was just one family photo. There was all these family photos that we jumped into, but
Yeah.
I love them all, and hopefully one day I'll get to go back and spend more time with them, because that's what Stacey and I'd like to do with both our families, Missouri
Yeah.
and New Zealand. So it'll be like a ping pong ball, backwards and forwards.
Well, here's something special for me that you and Stacy surprised me. You came up from Daytona, Florida. You surprised me on my birthday, and it was lots of fun. We had so much fun, and I was shocked to see you guys coming down the stairs like I said, we've got so much video, so much pictures. You and I can go on and on and on for hours and hours and show a lot of stuff, but we're limited and in
Yeah.
time. But we've got lots of interviews. I'm sure we'll do down the line there, Wallace. But
Actually,
this,
Dino,
yeah.
just to let the audience know, Dino has asked that I interview him at some stage, and
Oh,
my
yeah,
goodness, I
yes,
look forward to that,
yes,
brother.
yeah. That's true. I did ask
You're
him.
dead.
So yeah.
You forgot?
Oh no, hey, bro, that's gonna be fun because we're gonna have some fun with that. I'm gonna pull up some old photos. Ooh, geez, that's gonna be fun. Yeah.
I look
So
forward to it.
yeah,
Seriously.
so so that was just amazing that you and Stacy came to surprise me for my birthday, bro, and I really, really do appreciate it. And I know everybody out there that's watching us today online, they just want to send so much love to you, bro,
Oh,
because
thank
you've
you.
done because you've done so much. You've made everybody laugh, smile, keep everybody happy. Wherever you are, when you come to town, people want to, they want to gather around you, bro. Because you got all that energy, right? And my God, man, you're just amazing. And you and I get together, we have fun. We enjoy it. People,
Boom. Yes,
people.
yes.
Yeah. So
As much as they want to gather around me, I want to gather around people, and especially
yes,
the ones that have been there my whole life.
yeah,
And then I love meeting new people, right?
yes,
But again, coming back to you, Dino, I know we're going to finish up here in a second. I just want
yes.
to again thank you. I want to congratulate you on what you've done here.
Thank
I
you,
know
brother.
that we're working behind the scenes
Mhm.
on a big tribute coming up for Simon Lemming. The
Yes.
Prime Minister of New Zealand's going to be involved,
Yep.
but all part of Maori Churr TV. So it's a privilege to have been interviewed by you this afternoon.
Thank you,
You
bro.
truly have put something together. I think that we're not sure how big this potential is, but obviously we continue, or you continue to do what you're doing, and I'm going to continue to be out there to support you. So thank
Thank
you
you
so much.
so much.
You know,
Thank you so much for everything that you've done and everything that you're doing and everything that you're going to do. And I just appreciate your friendship, you and Stacy, and you guys are so close to me, bro. Like I love you guys dearly, and I know everybody else out there just are saying the same things that they just want to spread the love back to you and Stacy. But today it's a special day. It's Waitangi Day.
this is what
Here,
Tony did.
here in Canada, it was Waitangi Day back in New Zealand yesterday. And for those of you that don't know about Waitangi, there's a Treaty of Waitangi that was the Treaty of Waitangi is a treaty first signed on the 6th of February 1840 by the representatives of the British Crown and Maori chiefs. So today it's a celebration for all the Kiwis around the world on February the 6th. So I just want to send out my congratulations, kia ora, whānau,
Yes,
wherever you are in the world and all that. And just want to thank Wallace for being with me today and giving me the opportunity to interview him. And I really, really do appreciate that. Right here on Talking Voices, Maori Churr TV. TV stands for Talking Voices. And every Saturday at 3 o'clock, I will have somebody new coming up here to being interviewed. And next Saturday, I have a gentleman by the name of Dave Jeffs from Virginia, Kiwi guy. It's a Kiwi gentleman, and we'll have him up here next Saturday. So Wallace, thank you very much. But I just want to leave
you know.
everybody with this before I leave. And I just want to say thank you, and I'm gonna show you something. So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in today. We really,
Yes,
really
thank
do
you.
appreciate it from Wallace and me. Okay? So thank you very, very much, folks. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Wai wai takahi a piki ko ai hoki!